I thought something smelled like fresh, organic farmland that also smells like goat. But then again, I usually grow up, I've been a little, well, not really that grow up, but I used to go into a location that my father used to live at back when he was young. But no biggie on that one. Hey everybody, it's the T-Rock 100. Welcome back to more of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the DLC of the Indigo disc. Last time, we made a return back here to Paldea to check up on some things, and we had a bit of a nice study session up with that the Team Star member. Here's that Penny had befriended. We also had a nice fateful encounter with one Meloetta. That Pokemon could only be found after you taken care of everything in the DLC main story. This time, we are back in Kitakami, but we're about to do two specific things that I've been both looking forward to, but not exactly looking forward to. Don't worry, it will be nice later on down the road. And also, I'm sure you guys have probably noticed something. You're probably wondering why my voice seems a little bit different at first, especially since that I had to do a little bit of some convergence. Well, I can answer that question freely. Been quite some time, hasn't it? It's been a long time since I ended up using a Yeti. But I actually got this one fairly recently, and my god, it feels good to have it back. The other one that we do have here is being used by another person, mainly for conference calls, demos, recordings, meetings, all that fun jazz. But enough about that, because now we get into probably one of the darkest moments in the DLC. And you can only do this after everything is done in the DLC, and only when you have captured Terrapagos. Why? Because it comes out. Well now, this is a curious development. Have someone broken through the boundaries of space-time? And who are you? Guys, I'd like you to meet the real Professor Turo. The best way I can tell that he's real, he's breathing. Have we met? If so, I'm sorry, but I don't seem to recall it. I am Professor Turo. I research Pokemon in Area Zero, and yet... What? Look at the expression on Miraidon's face. This one knows that this is indeed the real deal. This Pokemon, is this the Iron Serpent? Is that right? So his name is Miraidon. That's a good name. From the clues you've already let slip, I suppose I would have to conclude, from my perspective, this must be the future. Though of complexities in space-time are beyond count. It's possible that our encounter might not even be occurring in a timeline connected to my own. Perhaps this meeting is nothing more than a fleeting miracle. Why don't we exchange as much useful data as we can, in what little time that fate has gifted us? This right here, this has been widely regarded as the one anticipated motive that most people have dreaded. And if you're thinking that I'm talking Wixie Dixie, You'll find out why right now. Is there anything that you would like to ask me? Why are you here? I don't precisely know the cause. I was analyzing some recent data in my secret lab one moment, and the next I was standing here before you. Perhaps this is the influence of the crystal Pokemon that lies dormant in that place. Or perhaps that the cause lies with you and I. Is there anything else you wish to ask me? What are you studying right now? I am researching methods to catch Pokemon that live in different timelines, so I may transport them to the present day in my own timeline. It sounds fantastical, no doubt, but I'm drafting plans now for a machine that may achieve it. You see, this book captured my imagination when I had read it as a child and has never let go. But progress has been slow and it besets my failures. I haven't left my lab in quite some time now. I desperately hope that I might glean some new insight from this conversation so I can finally make some progress and return home. Is there anything else you wish to ask me? What about your family? Oh, you've been wishing to know about my private life. I do have family. A son. He's probably at home right now. Well, no. I suppose right now could be inaccurate. Whenever and wherever he is, I imagine he must be quite lonely. Now, let us trade places in this exchange. I say the time has come for my own questions. What is this place? It doesn't appear to be anywhere in Paldea. This here's the Crystal Pool. So Kitakami's Crystal Pool, eh? I remember reading about it in certain texts. It's said to be a place where water wells up from the ground, imbued with terrestrial energy. It would seem that I have been shifted quite far in both space and time. My next question then. That Pokemon you have, the Iron Serpent, Miraidon. Tell me more about it. Yes, well, your personal attachment to the creature has no meaningful relevance to the... forgive me, perhaps that was rude. That book you have there. I don't recognize its cover. What is it? The Hidden Treasure of Area Zero? Who would let me... Would you let me see it for a moment? Descriptions of the Area Zero underdepths, and a record of Terrapicos' awakening. Who is this Briar to have written such a work? Now isn't that something? A descendant of the author of the original Violet book. Exploration runs in the family, I see. At any rate, this is a book that would ignite the imagination of any true scientist. I'm sorry, but I still must have the time to read this book more thoroughly. Oh, the mist is closing in once again. I assume that means our time is near its end. It's so sad! I wish I could spend longer getting to know the Iron Serpent, but I must hurry. That book, I imagine it must be quite valuable. It wouldn't feel right for me to claim it without offering you any recompense. In exchange then, though I hate to part with something so precious to me, would you consider trading me that book for my copy of the Violet book? If you say no, he's going to insist. There's no way out of this. If this was Scarlet, this would have been Sada. You'll be asking pretty much the exact same questions, and she will give you her own copy of the Scarlet book. A record of an exception of the great creator Paldea, given to you by Professor Turo. The book has the name Turo written on it in clumsy handwriting. I appreciate this more than you can imagine. Perhaps I should take this chance to go home and enjoy a bit of downtime with a good book. This is where we part, fellow adventurer and Iron Serpent. How lucky we were to meet across space and time. I bid you adieu. That moment has accurately solved one very important question from the journal. It was crazy enough as it is, this happens. I remember, back when I played this game for the first time, I thought my game reset it. But it now gives us a copy of our own version with the Violet book. And for some reason it ends up having us come back out here. So, before we do anything else, I'd like to remind you... Well, let's do this real quick. Oh, that's the Violet book. Did you borrow the copy in the entrance hall? Of course you did. That book holds a lot of memories for us, little buddy. Yeah, about that. He doesn't know that this is the other one. But anyway, I want to check something. Because now that we've finally gotten to that, I think there is one other thing that is somewhat accessible to us now that we've gotten this version of the Scarlet Book. I guess not. Okay. I'd like to remind you that the journal entry that was stated that a young child gave me a bright white volume. So what I'm getting at is we've pretty much just causing history to happen. A lot of people have speculated that this might actually be a reference to what is known as a bootstrap theory. Yeah, bootstrap paradox. Or bootstrap theory? Well, either way. It's essentially a time in a bit of a future timeline that is basically delivered something specifically to the past. And it is pretty much guaranteed to happen. Essentially kind of causing history to repeat itself over and over and over again with that very moment in time. This particular bootstrap theory, to make it matters even worse, it is still destined to happen. It cannot but happen. You could say it's like an alternative version of fate. So if you're ever probably wondering what's another cause of the professor's downfall, yep, guess what? Because of fate, it's our fault! It's like they haven't stomped on Arvin's pride, soul, and crotch as it is. In fact, to make matters worse, us as being silent protagonists, we can't tell him anything about this. In fact, just imagine if Arvin was with us at that time, getting to see his late parent for the first and possibly the last time ever. We couldn't just tell the professors to take extra precautions. We can't really tell them that all of this is going to come to an end. It's going to be his ultimate downfall. Because if anything else were to happen that we tell them about this, now I've probably been watching a little too much of Loki, or maybe even a little bit more of those that have something to do with the sacred timeline, anything that changes in the past normally would change the future as well. But I think there's more to this. If we continue to go this far to the point of when we would try to alert the professors, there may not have been a time machine. There may not have been any further exploration to the underdepths. Or maybe there could have been. But one thing is for certain. We're part of the reason for why Sada and Toro pretty much bit the dust. And that is kind of devastating when you think about it. And it's doomed to happen over and over and over again. It cannot but happen. So you're probably wondering, why is it that we're back here in Kitakami? Well, there's actually two things that I want to do here. We manage to do this. We completed the Blueberry Pokédex. Sort of. Oh, okay. And now, we get a third Master Ball. However, what they said was actually kind of inaccurate. We have seen pretty much every Pokemon that we could encounter for the Pokédex. All except for one. We will be getting into that very, very soon. But the first time that I had that encounter in the Crystal Pool, it wounded my soul that this happened. And it wounds a lot of people, and still, even after constant repeats of this. Hey there, Derek! It looks like you caught 240 species of Pokemon in the terrarium! Hold on. Does that you filled in the entire thing? Yes! Yes, it does! You completed the Blueberry Pokédex! Congratulations! We should have all the data we need on the Pokemon living in the dome now! Thanks to you. Not all of them. But it's really impressive, you know? Not a single Blueberry Academy student has managed it yet! Here, you deserve a special something to celebrate. I'm pretty sure this counts as special. We get the Mark Charm. Whatever this is. Having one of these mysterious and unique charms makes it more likely to encounter a Pokemon with a mark. Clavel? What are you doing here? Well, hello, Director Serrano. And hello to you too, Master Derek. Your studies are going well, I hope? Welcome, Billy! You're not going to believe what Derek just accomplished! Of course, I had a little help from another universe, but still. Upon my word! It seems you're making quite the splash here at Blueberry Academy, as you have elsewhere. I knew I picked the right student for this program! While Director Serrano is giving himself a hearty pat on the back, allow me to reward you with a small gift. Students who achieve great feats such as this deserve to be recognized for their hard work. This congratulatory message, penned by the company that certifies Pokédex completion, is for you. We hereby certify your achievement of completing the Blueberry Pokédex. May this great feat be celebrated by you, by all. I reconfigured your Pokédex app so that you may view your diploma there anytime you like. You haven't changed, have you, Billy? You've always been good at this sort of thing. Oh no, this is really nothing. Also, Director, once again, I must insist that you address me properly in front of our student. I'm just glad your treasure hunt in my academy has been such a success, Derek. I hope you keep spending some quality time with all the Pokemon in the terrarium. Director Serrano, I do appreciate your kind words, and I hate to interrupt, but I would like you to confirm that you will no longer refer to as Valley in front of... Director Serrano, are you even listening to me? So there's really no need to do much of anything else here at Blueberry Academy except for calling in some special coaches. But we're not going to get into that quite yet. However, for the last thing that we're going to be doing, and I know this episode's been a little bit short, but I like short and sweet to the points on some things like this. I believe the time has come to finally pick up on the one last thing. That's what probably many people consider to be probably one of the most unique things that we have ever seen in a Pokemon DLC. Come right over here. Oh, one more thing. I want to quickly show off one special item that is gifted to us while getting the DLC. The mythical Pekka Berry. A Pekka Berry of the highest quality. It's said that a Pekka Berry tree carefully tended by an expert gardener will produce just one of the berries every few years. So you may be wondering why we have this item. Well, it is mainly for this. And it only ever happens after you complete everything in the main story of the Indigo disc. There's a dusty old decoration of some sort mixed in with all the daily goods and things. It smells incredibly sweet. Did that appear to move a little bit? I'm watching you. Yo, Derek! Arvin here! Heard the news! You've been having all kinds of big adventures, huh, little buddy? School trips, studying abroad? What luck! Yeah? Man, I'm jealous to hear that. I wish I could have gone along too. Probably on one of those occasions, probably not. Now that I think about it, it's been one crazy thing after another since you came to our school. I guess you've still been real busy lately, but are things starting to settle down? I was thinking that if you have time, and only if you want, of course, maybe, I could come visit you at your place? Seriously? It's such a relief to hear you say that, and without even the tiniest hesitation. So I guess I'll come over. Your house is in Acapulco, right? I'll meet you up front. See you there? But next time on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, we get into the epilogue of the DLC, Mochi Mayhem. See you guys then.